Rain had been merciless all evening. It wasn't the kind of drizzle that sang softly on rooftops, but the furious, soaking kind that blurred the world into streaks of silver. Emily Dawson tightened the straps of her bag and half ran, half stumbled down the quiet suburban street, cursing under her breath at the betrayal of her ancient car. It had given up 3 blocks back, coughing smoke like an old man with a bad chest. Now it sat abandoned by the curb, while she trudged on, drenched to the skin. Her umbrella had died 5 minutes ago, snapped bones of wire jutting out at odd angles, fabric flapping uselessly in the wind. Her hair clung to her cheeks, her shoes squelched, and the thin jacket she wore felt more like a wet rag than clothing. She hadn't planned on this. Nobody planned on being stranded in the middle of nowhere, her phone battery gasping its last % before blinking off, leaving her with no map, no ride, and no way to call anyone. She slowed at the corner, chest heaving. That was when she saw it. A neat little doghouse sat tucked under the eaves of a charming white cottage. Painted bright red, with a little bone-shaped nameplate nailed above the doorway, Max. Rain slicked its roof, but the opening underneath looked dry, shadowed, safe. She blinked at it, and then, almost against her will, laughter bubbled in her chest. The absurdity of it. "Can I just use your doghouse as shelter?" she whispered to herself, hugging her arms around her body. She glanced around the street. Not a soul. Curtains drawn, lights glowing faintly in the houses, but no one outside. The storm had chased all decent people indoors. Except her. Her knees bent, almost giving in to the temptation. But before she could crouch near the little haven, a voice carried over the downpour. "You'll catch pneumonia if you stay out there." Emily spun around. A man stood on the porch, half shielded by the roof, his silhouette carved sharp against the warm glow spilling from inside the house. He was tall, broad-shouldered, his dark hair tousled in damp strands. In one arm, he held a small child, a boy, no more than 3. The child's cheek rested heavily against his father's shoulder, thumb tucked in his mouth, eyes drowsy. Emily's breath caught. She must have looked like some kind of vagabond intruder, soaked, trembling, dripping on his neatly paved walkway. "I wasn't," she began, voice hoarse. "I wasn't really going to stay in the doghouse. Her throat tightened. "I just needed a break." The man's gaze softened instead of hardening. His lips quirked, almost amused. He shifted the boy in his arms and stepped down the porch stairs, boots crunching against wet gravel. "No one deserves a doghouse when there's a roof a few feet away," he said simply. Then, extending his free arm toward her, "Come inside. I've got towels. And cocoa." Emily froze. The storm roared, her skin burning from the cold. She didn't know this man. Didn't know his name, or why his voice